Most people rest wrong between sets, and it's costing them muscle. Most people think progress in the gym comes down to the exercises they choose, how much weight they lift, or how hard the set feels. But there's one variable almost everyone ignores, and it might be the reason your muscle growth and strength have stalled. That variable is rest between sets. If your rest is based on boredom, vibes, or scrolling your phone, your training stimulus is random, and random training produces random results. Today we're talking about why most people rest wrong between sets, how that quietly costs you muscle and strength, and how to fix it using real exercise science instead of gym myths. Most people treat rest as something to rush through or fill with distractions. They rest until they feel ready, until the pump fades, or until they finish checking their phone. The problem is that rest is not passive. Rest is when your body prepares for the next set. During rest, your muscles replenish ATP, which is their immediate energy source. Your nervous system recovers so you can produce force again. Fatigue-related byproducts are cleared so muscles can contract efficiently. When you rush that process or ignore it completely, you change the entire effect of the workout. That's why two people can do the same exercises, with the same sets and reps, and walk away with completely different results. Rest is a training variable, just like weight reps and sets. If you don't control it, it controls your outcome. The biggest shift you need to make is understanding that there is no single perfect rest time. The right rest period depends entirely on what you're training for that day. Strength, muscle growth, longevity, and general health all require different recovery demands. Once you match your rest to your goal, your workouts stop being random and start becoming repeatable. If your primary goal is strength, longer rest is essential. Heavy lifting relies heavily on the ATP-PC energy system and on neural drive from your nervous system. Both of these systems take minutes to recover, not seconds. When you rest long enough between heavy sets, you can lift more weight, maintain better technique, and repeat high-quality reps. Research consistently shows that resting around 3 to 5 minutes between heavy compound lifts allows for greater total training volume and significantly greater strength gains over time. When people cut rest short during heavy lifts, performance drops quickly, reps fall, weight decreases, and form breaks down. That doesn't build strength, it builds fatigue. Strength training is about producing maximal force repeatedly, and that requires recovery. Muscle growth is where most people get confused. For years, gym culture pushed the idea that shorter rest automatically leads to more muscle because it creates more burn and pump. While short rest does increase metabolic stress, muscle growth depends primarily on mechanical tension and total high-quality training volume. When rest is too short, fatigue accumulates so quickly that you're forced to lower the weight, reduce reps, or end sets earlier than planned. Research comparing short rest intervals to longer ones shows that while very short rest can increase certain hormonal responses, it also reduces performance across sets. In multiple studies, people who rested longer were able to lift heavier weights, maintain more reps, and achieve equal or greater muscle growth over time. Current evidence suggests a rest period of roughly 1 to 3 minutes works best for hypertrophy. Smaller isolation exercises often work well closer to the shorter end of that range, while larger compound lifts usually benefit from closer to 2 or even 3 minutes. The goal is not to eliminate fatigue, but to recover enough so that every set provides a strong growth stimulus. Longevity and general health require a different perspective. When the goal is long-term health, cardiovascular fitness and sustainable training, shorter rest periods can be useful. Shorter rest keeps the heart rate elevated, improves muscular endurance, and increases cardiovascular demand. This is why circuit training and supersets are so effective for general fitness. Research shows that resistance training performed with shorter rest intervals can improve strength, aerobic fitness, and body composition at the same time. That said, longevity training still requires quality movement. Rest should be short enough to challenge your cardiovascular system, but long enough to maintain clean technique and avoid excessive strain. If rest is so short that form breaks down or you feel dizzy or lightheaded, it's no longer productive. One common myth is that shorter rest always builds more muscle. In reality, shorter rest increases discomfort, not necessarily growth. Another myth is that longer rest kills the pump. The pump is temporary, but progressive overload is what lasts. Many people believe that feeling ready means they're fully recovered, but perceived readiness often lags behind actual muscular and neural recovery. Another misconception is that more fatigue equals better training. Fatigue is not the goal. Stimulus is the goal. Here's a simple rule you can start using immediately. Rest long enough to repeat performance. If your reps fall off sharply, your weight drops dramatically, or your form degrades from set to set, your rest is probably too short for your goal. If you're resting so long that your workout drags on endlessly and intensity disappears, your rest is probably too long. Rest should support the outcome you're training for, not work against it. Most people think rest is something that happens between training. In reality, rest is part of training. When you rest based on boredom, ego, or your phone, your results are random. When you rest based on physiology and your goals, progress becomes predictable. Train with intention, recover with purpose, and let rest work for you instead of against you. If this helped you rethink how you train, drop a comment below and tell me how long you usually rest between sets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for weekly health, fitness, and longevity tips so you can keep training smarter for the long run.